Alrighty folks, so today we're pulling the canoe out. We're gonna go out after some bass and some pike. So stay tuned, we got a lot in store for you today. I have a hook in my butt. My bad, homie. All right, folks, so we were originally gonna fish this lake this morning. Unfortunately, as you can see behind me, it's a little choked off with lily pads, and we didn't bring anything to fish inside the lily pads with. Be a great morning to like run a frog pole or something like that, but unfortunately we didn't bring the right equipment for that. So we're gonna go hop onto a different lake. We'll try that one here in a second. Being able to make quick adjustments, like switching from one lake to another, can sometimes make all the difference in whether you catch fish or not. And sometimes you have to make a decision that sounds completely backward for a good reason, like putting the heavier guy in the front of the canoe. Alrighty folks, so we're back out here. And a couple things to note that we're doing slightly wrong today, but it's for a good reason. Normally you want your heaviest paddler in the back of the canoe. The negative is Brian doesn't know how to steer one of these things. So we're gonna teach him how to steer at some point today, and we'll show you guys that in case one of you doesn't know how to steer. But this is a good trial run for this canoe since we're taking it on a river adventure later. So I feel super high and dry. Brian's a little nervous, so so we'll see how this trip goes. It was fair for Brian to be a little nervous. Canoes on open water aren't exactly known for being the most stable. But once he started fishing, I could see him settling into his element. And that's what made me ask what he was using. So Brian, why are you running the jitterbug right now?
Top water, no wind, early morning. Flat.
Feel that little breath? Mm-hmm. You're gonna be on them here in a second. So what are you hunting for now? You switched over to an ultralight.
Yeah, I think there might be some panfish over here. This is a little crappie getter, is all it is. Little thing that me and my buddy made up a couple years back.
The gills were having absolutely none of Brian's lure, which meant it was a perfect time to turn a slow bite into a quick canoeing lesson. Since we weren't catching much, I figured I might as well do a lesson on the basics of steering while paddling a canoe. So the water's pretty calm today, folks, so it's a good day to actually teach how to paddle a canoe. Very similar to a kayak, so if you're used to kayaks, it's pretty similar. Basically, if I want to turn to the right, I'm going to dive in on the left, which is actually this side for me. I'm going to dive into the left. If I want to turn to the left, I'm going to dive into the right. And then if I need to make a sharp or abrupt corner to the right, I'm going to dive my paddle in and backstroke. If I want a sharp corner to the right, if I want a sharp corner to the left, I'm going to dive in and backstroke to the left. It all depends on what you're doing. If you're just underway, you can do it that way. You can run canoes solo. It happens all the time. If you got a partner in there, basically if you guys want to go straight, you guys got to paddle on the opposite sides of the canoe. And if you guys want to turn, you just transition to the same side of the canoe. So if you're running into issues that way, you guys just got to get into sync and talk about it a little bit. Brian, what'd you retie to?
Swim jig.
Why'd you retie to that?
Seeing a lot of bass cruising around. So we'll see how this works out.
After Brian retied, it took almost no time at all before he is back into the fish. Leader on it. Got you all.
Picking up.
That's a fish. What you got there, homie?
Probably that.
it's swimming sideways, so.
What?
I said it's swimming sideways, so if it's weeds.
Oh, he's off. Oh.
Story of our lives. The fish managed to spit the hook. It is what it is. That's fishing. And losing one is never how you want things to go. But as we continued fishing, the lake was starting to show some signs of life, and that gave me a reason to change things up. Instead of sticking with the same bait and hoping for a different result, I decided to make a more deliberate choice based on the specific fish I was trying to target. Sometimes the key isn't just finding a fish, it's figuring out what bait will give you the best chance of catching the one you're after. So Brian's throwing a little mini swim. I'm gonna throw this big meps. Brian likes to catch himself bluegill and bass. I'm more of a pike guy myself, so we're gonna keep working on seeing if we can get on some pike. Sometimes you end up catching a bass just by proximity. They're both predator fish, they both like similar things, but pike are super aggressive. So folks, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to run my retrieve so that I'm just taking the tops off the weeds. And apparently, I'm retrieving just a little slow. So I gotta clean these off and then I can throw back out there. Taking the tops off weeds or bumping into structure is a great way to alert predatory fish like pike and bass that your lure is in the area. That little bit of contact can create extra movement and vibration, helping those fish hone in on your bait. But knowing what to do with your bait is only half the battle. It's just as important to understand what that bait does on its own in the water. Every lure has a different action. The better you understand how your bait naturally behaves, the better you can work it, and ultimately use it to its fullest potential. Alrighty folks, so I got two styles of inline spinners here. One is a French blade. They're both maps, both are number 3s. One's a French blade, and one's a willow blade. So French blade stays a little higher in the water column. Willow blade goes a little deeper in the water column. So I noticed that my French blade was staying a little high. So I'm gonna switch over to this willow blade and see if we can get a little deeper and maybe get in on some more pike. Nope. Alrighty folks, so what Brian just got to experience was his first time in a canoe in another boat's wake. Now, I don't care if you drive your boat on the lake, but if you would be kind to your other people who are out here in canoes and kayaks, you know, make a little space. They weren't super close, but the wake does make a difference. Super important notice. I'm not saying you shouldn't be able to enjoy the lake on your boat or jet ski. Quite the opposite, actually. All I'm asking is that you give kayaks and canoes a wide berth when you pass by. Or, if you're feeling generous, you can always offer to take them fishing. Might switch over to my paddle tail here in a second.
I wouldn't, I ain't catching.
Yeah, but I got a white one. Hey, that looks like a fish, Holmes.
Oh,
yeah.
Bass.
Said how much? What'd you catch?
A little bass.
Or try to catch and miss? Loose? Alright folks, so Brian just got a good hit on his swim bait. So I'm gonna switch over now too. That way, you know, both of us are having chances of catching fish. And then normally what happens is we don't catch fish after that. Alright folks, so we're gonna head way up here because the wind's blowing back at us. You're probably hearing a little bit of it right now on the audio. But we're gonna head up here and then we're gonna drift this edge back down. That way we can keep fishing fresh water the entire time. Well, not fresh water, but new water. Drifting lets you cover more water in less time. However, the fishing was slow today. When the fish stop cooperating, the stupid jokes and dumb humor usually start to show up. This episode is sponsored by Mickey D's. Not really. So we're still sitting out here trying to figure out where all these fish are at. I'm not exactly sure where they're at. We've had a couple hookups, a couple bass hit, but it's slow today. Trying to find these fish is getting a little interesting, but we're just letting the wind do its thing, blow us across the lake, and then we'll paddle back and try again. So it's a good tactic to cover open water, especially when you're out here in a canoe like we are today. So, what do you think, Brian?
There ain't no fish here.
Nobody come fish this spot. There ain't no fish. We can't catch nothing. Fishing is a great metaphor for life because you never really know what you're gonna get. One minute, everything can be slow and quiet, and the next, everything can change in an instant. All right, guys. I don't even know if the GoPro was running, but I just had a really nice bass on.
About 2.5 to 3.5 pounds.
About 2.5 to 3.5 pounds on. And I'll tell you exactly what happened. I should have lightened my drag up probably just a little bit. But if you look real close right here, that's my leader. And it's completely been out of whack, so sometimes it is what it is. That is a really nice bass actually, so. Oh well, we'll keep fishing, see what we can do. I don't know if I got another one of those, so might get a little interesting, but we'll see. Losing that fish hurt. It hurt a lot. That's just part of fishing. And sometimes there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. We did start noticing something different about the amount of boat traffic around us. Nobody being obnoxious or throwing massive wakes. But there was enough traffic that we decided we needed to make a decision. And we needed to make it fairly quickly. All right, folks. So this lake's a rather large lake, and it's pretty heavily populated. You can kind of see around us all of that. So this morning it was pretty placid, pretty easy going. Right now the boats are starting to get out here, and we don't like being in canoes when the boats are out because they're a little more prone to tipping. So right now we're actually outrunning a wake. It's right behind us. But I'm imagining the speedboats and all them other boats are going to be out here in a second. So we're going to call her a day. So we're going to go jump in here. Had a couple nice hookups with the bass, and we will for certain be back again. Just want to make sure we get here right at daybreak. So we will see you at the launch. Now, just because we were headed back to the launch didn't mean the adventure was over. We still had one final challenge left, getting 2 grown men out of a canoe without ending up in the water. Nope. Hey, I have a hook in my butt.
My bad, homie. I didn't know I was gonna do all that. I got you. Step out. No, you don't.
Oh, I thought for sure I had a hook in my butt. Yeah, that's one of those where you just let somebody else get out. Luckily, no hooks ended up in my rear, and despite not landing any fish, it still turned out to be a pretty good day on the water. Man, what a tough day out on the water. But we had a blast out there chasing down those bass. And it really stunk to lose that one. But man, it was a great fight. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you guys would do me a huge favor, could you smash that subscribe button, follow along on all the rest of these adventures that we got planned through the rest of the year. We've got a whole bunch more in store for you guys. So, Until next time, stay wild, stay sharp, and as always, stay wise. We'll catch you guys next time.